Ladies and gentlemen, we have the monthly candle close on Bitcoin as well as the weekly candle close in about 11 hours from the time I'm recording this video. So this is more of a last warning. In yesterday's video, I said that as well. And I said I wouldn't upload today unless something dramatic has happened. Now, there have been a few changes. Okay, there's a few new things I want to talk about, including a support line here on the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart identified from the last cycle that makes me think that no patterns have been broken here for the total 3, and makes me think that if Bitcoin does bottom here, there will be no complications in the incoming altcoin season, which is slightly reassuring. And that's something I wasn't completely sure of before, because we broke down from patterns such as bull market support band, or indicators, for example, such as bull market support band, price cycle lines, and you know, those indicators held in the last cycle, so it was kind of a little bit of uncertainty on that chart. But now I think there's some clarity there. So there's some changes. But mostly here today, I'm just recapping. I'm recapping the fractal that is potentially playing out on Bitcoin. I'm recapping the importance, the sheer importance of the upcoming closes on the weekly and monthly charts. And if you've seen that content enough, if you don't want to hear about it more, click off the video. You don't have to watch it. I'm doing this, for engagement and for new viewers who perhaps haven't watched too much of the channel before, and also for people who just want a reminder of what to actually watch. So without further ado, we'll check out the exchanges and then we'll get into it. I've got 2 exchanges on this YouTube channel that I advertise. Those are the Bitcoin and the BingX exchanges. Okay, my referral links are down in the description or pinned comment below. Now, listen very closely here. With the BingX exchange, if you sign up, you get a chance to get up to $4,000 up to $4,000 in rewards upon your first trade completed with my referral link. And on the Bitcoin exchange, it's the same deal, but it's $5,500. Look there, sign up to win up to $5,500. So you get a chance there to win free money. On top of that, with my links, you get a 15% trading fee discount on the exchanges for life. They are both already low in trading fees and they've both never been hacked before. Check them out down below. Global non-KYC on both of them. The links are there. Let's get into the content here today. I'm going to start out by just showing you why the weekly and monthly candle closes are so important. Well, it's very simple, right? I'm not going to spend too long doing it because, again, it's something I've just repeated many, many times. But given the fact that the closes are in 11 hours here, we do actually need to bring it up one more time. So if you look at the monthly chart on Bitcoin, you will see that the highest ever monthly candle close Bitcoin saw was at 61.3K. And if you draw a vague horizontal line across from that level, you will see that for the most part, the monthly candle closes and opens we've seen in this price region in 2024 have been around that same level. If you zoom into the price chart on a daily chart, for example, and you look at the entirety of this range, you will see as well that 61.3K, the rough price region around that zone in green on the screen here, is basically the support zone that has built up the foundation of this price range. So not only is this level at 61K important on the price chart on a horizontal basis, it's also important from a monthly chart and hence a more macro perspective. There is another additional layer of importance as well, and that is through weekly chart indicators. So for example, you look at the weekly chart, and what you'll see that, by the way, on the weekly chart, it's also an important level because we can see one of the weekly candle closes from the 2021 cycle back here reflects a support level we found on the weekly candle close right here. But also, if you're looking at weekly chart indicators, right, important indicators that have been absolutely critical to prior bull markets, like the bull market support band, you will see the bull market support band, for example, sitting right there at 61.1K, and you will see the pi cycle center line in green currently at 61.1K as well. So what am I looking to see on Bitcoin in 11 hours? Not even looking, I need to be seeing, right? We need to be seeing a monthly candle close, okay, above 61.1K, but preferably 61.3K. And actually, if we're going deeper, preferably 61.9K. Why do I say that? Well, you might not have heard that before. The 13-year ascending support line on Bitcoin, which we discussed very extensively yesterday, it's a line stemming back from 2011. It cuts through massive amounts of price action on Bitcoin. It's been a very important trend line. That's currently sitting at 61.9. So, I mean, ideally, we see the monthly candle close above 61.9. But given the fact that most of the indicators are, going to be adequately met at around 61.3, bull market support band, pi cycle center line, horizontal level on the medium term range, the monthly chart level, I would be happy enough with like a 61.3K close, okay? And looking at the poll from yesterday that we did 19 hours ago, it's actually quite interesting to see there's a lot of division in my community right now. Only 60% of people think we're going to see that adequate monthly candle close, which is quite surprising. There's a lot, that's a significant portion of people who don't think we're going to see it. A significant portion of people who think that the Bitcoin structure is going to be damaged here. Quite a lot, really, because I've been very clear, right? If we don't see that monthly candle close, if we don't see the weekly and the monthly candle close above 61.3K, or at least somewhere near there, right? Somewhere where it's not, somewhere where it's at least vague and hard to tell, right? So I want to be clear, right? If we close at 61.2 instead of 61.1, it's not the end of the world. This is a vague price region. There's lots of indicators spanning over hundreds of US dollars. It's only if we see a very bad close that's clearly underneath all these levels that it actually becomes a potential sell signal, right? So if you wake up and in Australia, it's if you wake up, in the US, it's if you're going to sleep and you see that monthly candle close and it's not quite there, that's not really enough confirmation for me to sit here and say, let's sell everything. No, I actually want to be seeing breakdowns as well. So it's like if we see the close fail and we see a breakdown to new lower lows and we see the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap breakdown below its ascending support line from November, it's like, okay, there's not really much recovery from that. It's not looking good. Let's get the hell out. But if we see, not quite adequate monthly candle close, but we're still holding onto the support and there's no volume surge indicating an actual breakdown, there's nothing really happening, the charts are still going sideways, that's not really confirmed breakdown. So obviously, I'm going to post an update tomorrow when the close happens and give you an update of what's actually going on. And we'll cover that. We'll cover everything. Given the potential scenarios and potential outcomes. What do I personally think is going to happen? I think we'll see. I'm leaning towards that we'll see a adequate close here. I do lean towards that. I'm not ultra confident. I think this cycle as a whole has been strange. We've done strange things this entire cycle so far, so it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see it. But I think the TA doesn't look too bad right now. I think right now the TA does probably lean towards an adequate close above 61.3K. Again, I'm not super confident, but I'm very excited to see what happens here. I do think it's probably the more likely scenario, given what I've seen on the charts personally. And, Fractal here as well, right? It's like, this is another reason why I'm not so, I'm not just going to jump off the bandwagon immediately if we don't see the close within my specific price range. It's like we look at the fractal potentially playing out from this period of time right here. What do we see? Well, we see, okay, let's outline it very clearly. Okay, we've got a rounding bottom formation, an impulse to the upside, a rounding top, an impulse to the upside, forming a horizontal channel formation with 2 retests of the bottom and 1, 2, 3 retests of the top. The third retest leading to a breakout. We have literally the exact same pattern forming, okay? Again, we have a rounding bottom formation, impulse to the upside with a rounding top, impulsing to a horizontal channel with 1, 2, 3 of the bottom and 2 significant ones of the top. If we are going to be following that fractal, we will bounce from this rough price region and breach to the upside. It's a clear fractal. Are fractals overly reliable? No, fractals are not very reliable forms of analysis, but when you have them and when they are that clear, it's something you need to pay attention to. We had the threat. People are saying right now, we've got a double top formation, we're going down. We had the exact same threat of a double top formation right here in April through to July 2023. We didn't form a double top. We bottomed out with a double bottom and went upwards again. And why did we do that? Because the cyclical structures enabled it to occur. Right now, we are still within the bounds of the cyclical structures. All these levels, they're all regular cyclical structures. They're still holding currently. So we haven't seen any real breakdowns yet. Again, if we fail that monthly candle close, that would be a terrible sign, but I'd like to be seeing actual confirmation of a breakdown first before selling. The last thing you want to do is get the hell out of the market, and then the monthly candle close wasn't even a breakdown, and then you have to jump back in later. You want to actually, if you're going to sell your assets, you want to be very confident, because it's a macro decision, right? But I wanted to talk about Total 3 as well. So Total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart has a 5-step pattern. We've discussed this a lot in the past. It's been about a week though since we brought it up. Pattern, from last cycle, step 1 being bottoming out all the way through to step 4, which is the final consolidation before breaching into a parabolic bull market on altcoins. And at that same period of time, let's actually bring it up here. At the exact same period of time that step 4 ends, okay, and we breach upwards from step 4, that is exactly when we see, if it loads here, and let me try and get it perfect, 1 second. That is exactly when we see the altcoin season begin. So in orange on the screen, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. When the orange line goes downwards, that represents altcoins gaining dominance in the market, altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. You can see as soon as step 4 ended, and as soon as we broke the high of step 4, we shot upwards on Bitcoin shot downwards on Bitcoin dominance and upwards on the altcoin market cap, a strong altcoin season. If we are going to be following that pattern, we will be seeing an altcoin season begin basically right now. After this move completes, after we breach the high in step 4. So when I say right now, I don't mean today, I mean when the macro higher high is placed, okay? Which on a macro scale is right now, because this should be the bottom on the macro scale. And one of the reasons we've had, not doubts because nothing's broken yet, but concerns about this chart is because previously the levels we were looking at for this chart were the bull market support band, for example. That's one of them. And we saw, let's go ahead and make this scale normal again, one moment. And we saw, as you can see, the bull market support band being retested on step 4 before breaching the upside. We've actually dropped below the bull market support band here. So that was a little bit concerning. And it is still a concern, to be honest. It is still a cause for concern. But now I've identified, just today really, an ascending support line that started forming before step 3, was retested on step 3 and is retested on step 4. Maybe that is the fundamental part of the trend that is being retested right now, not the bull market support band. There's no real counter argument against that. That could very well be the case, in which case, as long as we hold the blue ascending support line right here on the screen, we are still intact on that macro structure, and we're still ready to go upwards into that parabolic altcoin bull market with an altcoin season after this bottom happens. So right now what I'm looking at for total 3 is this ascending blue line, and I'm actually looking at I'm looking at that for more than total 3, just in the market in general. If this blue line holds, I probably won't be getting out of altcoins, right? I don't really see a reason to sell altcoins while we have this major ascending support line intact. When that breaks, okay, yeah, cool, get the hell out, right? But until that happens, regardless of what happens with the monthly candle close or weekly candle close, I'm still going to remain in, right? I'm happy to wait and potentially risk another like 3% on my altcoins to have the absolute confirmation that selling is the right move to take, right? Especially considering that's a horizontal support zone already. But I mean, there's a reason I talk about the monthly candle and weekly candle so much. I don't want to sound like I'm dismissing it. I'm not. It's very, very important. It's Bitcoin really in a very important situation. We got to really get above 61.3K at a minimum on that monthly close. Again, if we don't quite make it there, it's not necessarily the end of the world. It just puts Bitcoin in a very, very dodgy position, okay? Because that's when deviations start to occur. And deviations are not a very fun place to be in. It's a place in which you're going to be getting 3 hours of sleep per night, watching the market, biting your nails the entire time. So I'm going to update you tomorrow, but it's interesting to see those poll results. 60% of you think we're going to see it, 40% think we're going to drop below. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens there, and I'll give you an update, that's for sure. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Again, the 2 exchanges, potentially thousands of dollars up for grabs with signing up with my referral link, and at a minimum, you'll get a 15% trading fee discount for life. Check them out. We've also got the VIP group on Telegram, very important here. If you want to trade altcoins on VIP, right, with me, I'll post altcoin trading plans in there in video format, giving you the suggested entry, suggested take profit, stop loss levels, excuse me. And we've got a 77.51% win rate, a PDF of all the historical trading results. You can check it out. It's all there on Telegram, as well as a group chat, by the way, which is actually quite useful at times, especially when the market's moving very fast. Having access to a community of people who are watching the market and posting charts is very useful. And then finally, the Crypto Academy's bull market sale on the Become a Trader 10-unit course. We're teaching people how to trade, okay? We've got a course, you can access it, 30 hours of content roughly, okay, and it's a very reasonable price, and it's even more reasonable. In fact, it's an absolute bargain, really, with the discount we've got right now running for a limited time. So if you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn TA, that's where you can do it. Check it out. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you tomorrow with an update after that close. Cheers.